Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Scotty May swoops in at the last minute for a guest co-host spot along with his Uber driver, T-Bone. We get some new songs from Tyler Carson and St. Mary St. Michael. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. at WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
In case you couldn't tell by the heavy metal interrupting all the other music they were playing before we went live, this is the Life Radio Show with your host, Don Smith, here in the Wiley's Comedy Studios at WWSU. I always forget to throw that out there. It's free advertisement. I don't know why I don't. Hey, go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Thank you. Sitting in the studio with me today, my last-minute emergency guest co-host who needs no introduction. He was here without a mohawk, and he's probably been on this show almost as often as I have. Scotty May.
Hey, so am I like the Alec Baldwin of the Life? Yes.
Yep, you are the SNL. He's on constantly.
I just need his money now.
There you go. Yeah, that's boy. I as soon as I get Lorne Michaels' money, I'll give you Alec Baldwin's.
Okay,
and we'll be good.
Deal.
Anyway, Scotty's Uber driver is also on
T-Bone in the house.
T-Bone is in the house.
Yes, I am.
And Tyler Carson is back from St. Mary St. Michael.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasure as always.
Of course. It's good to have some beard competition in the studio.
Man, I was going to say, it's getting a little tense in here.
I know.
Careful. It is, yeah.
I get beard envy a lot, so
yeah.
You know, you don't have the mohawk to rock. But,
no, but I might stroke that beard here shortly.
You wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah. Scotty, I thought I was the only.
Am I breathing heavy right now?
Now, I will say, you're still a young man. I have the silverback beard, so it's still a little...
The distinguished.
It's still the alpha
salt and
beard.
pepper.
Now, eventually, it's going to be challenged by the younger beards, and eventually it'll just have to be the wise old elder.
That's right.
That they come to with life's questions.
Right.
So, because every beard needs answers.
Welcome to Life Radio.
Yes.
Talk to the beard.
Talk to the beard.
Talk to the beard. There you go.
God, man,
already, man.
I
We're
don't
not
know.
even 5 minutes. That's
I'll
close.
write it down because if we're getting there already,
we could be in for a fun night.
This could be. Cause,
it was entertaining, that's for sure.
I think that's the first time we've actually come up with the name of the episode like
just
less
right
than 3 minutes into the broadcast. So this is it's going to be a good time tonight. I can feel it, and I need it. It's been rough. Although I did find out that I'm gonna have to investigate this. There's going to have to be some investigative journalism here on the Life, because I was walking around the corner to go to the restroom before the show, and a lady walked out of the other room. This is the Universal restrooms up there, with an unmarked mason jar full of clear liquid. Brought it out with her. Now, I understand, trying to be environmentally conscious, but at the same time, I recognize moonshine when I see it.
Right. That's immediately what went to my head.
Exactly.
But I'm an alcoholic too, so.
You throw a mason jar out.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a still in there. I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
But it's like, have you ever seen the movie Real Genius?
Yes.
With Val Kilmer?
Yes.
Well, you know how the guy was living in the closet of the college dorm?
Yep. He had to take the little coaster down in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's going on over here in the student union basement.
So you think somebody's saving up all their Frito-Lay UCP?
Yeah, oh yeah.
UPCs
Well, no, they're just saving all their mason jars and filling it with some pretty good hooch. So
good hooch.
Good,
the good hooch
it's
too.
Got to be. If it's
this is an institution, but it's not a secured
right
kind of institution. So
somebody from the chemistry lab is down there. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be some
the
hillbilly
Breaking Bad spinoff.
That's not going to be some hillbilly hooch over there. This is going to be actual scientifically perfected.
Yep.
Moonshine.
Yeah,
When
Right
you
here,
find
yes.
it, before you report it, help a brother out with a couple bottles, all right?
Oh, if I find it, I might report it eventually, and I'll say I don't know what happened to everything that was here.
It's gone. I don't know.
It was here when I came through, and I don't know what happened, but it'll be in my basement then. Sorry, I told you. I
Yeah,
was
you
gonna have
did.
to do.
Yeah,
I
you
told
called
you.
that.
I
You're like the
warned you.
Nostradamus of DJs.
Yeah. So what has been going on with St. Mary, St. Michael? I see there is a new album on the
A halfway
horizon.
new album.
A halfway new album.
So,
okay.
I may have mentioned this last time, but I have a love affair with the book 1984, George Orwell. What used to be science fiction, I consider to be documentary now.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
But I read it every year, and I've been working on music, concept album, if you will. And so I've been slowly recording songs, trying to put them out. But I took 2 songs from the book. So there are songs written in the book that I've taken, put melody and music to, and recorded those. I reached out. This would have been February. I would have reached out to the 1984 estate. Hey, what kind of licensing do I have to do to put these out? And they were basically like, we're in movie talks, so you'd have to talk to them. And I was like, great, who's them?
Who's
The
I
man.
you're
didn't get
asking
that.
the 1984 people who's them?
Yeah.
They
The
never
man.
know what
Right,
answer you're
just
going
talk
to
to
get.
them. Who? And they said, I'm not making this up. I got an email that said, well, it's Sony, and they probably wouldn't get back to you anyways. And I'm like, cool.
Fantastic.
Thanks. So, in 20 different phone calls I had to make to track down the right person, I got in touch with Sony, and she responded, well, contracts haven't been finalized yet, so we just don't know who can give you permission. Email us back in a couple months, which usually means...
Right. Bye. Yeah.
So I emailed back a couple months later, and I actually got a response. Hey, they're still talking. Just to warn you, this could take a while, but I'll try and keep you posted. Email back in a couple months. So I'm still waiting on that. In the meantime, I have on Bandcamp put up most of it for pay what you want, because I can't put it everywhere, because then that costs money, and then I
Right.
have to pay the same amount of money again later to update the album. So that being said, St. Mary, St. Michael, search it on Bandcamp. The album is We Were Dead from the Start. And so that's been going on, and that's what I brought you, most of it anyways.
What you could.
What I can. And so, yeah, it's been fun, and I've been playing a lot more. In fact, I've landed a residency at Urban Artifact in October, which is pretty
Awesome.
cool. So every Wednesday night I'll be playing down there. So for those that like drinking craft beer and listening to sad folk songs,
Which, who doesn't?
who doesn't, man?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
beer just makes it even better.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I've been doing a lot of that, and obviously still writing a lot, and on the grind.
So they're starting. The only thing I took from no, I'm kidding. There are talks to making a movie
Yes.
for 1984.
Yes, there are, which I'm stoked, because the last one they made was really old.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
watched like it was really old. So I would hopefully they don't try to make it too sexy and keep
Right.
it more, terrifying. That could
Oh,
be
yeah.
a horror
Oh,
movie
yeah.
at this point.
It's a disturbing thing.
So,
I love the novel.
yeah.
You guys read?
I have
George
not
Orwell?
read it. No.
It's
I have
fantastic.
not, but now I'm interested
I mean,
in
I
it.
actually
really
had an
is
idea. I mean,
fantastic.
we can bypass Sony. We can hire a medium to channel Orson Welles, right?
George
Or George Orwell.
Oh.
Or Orson Welles. That'd
Yeah,
be
that
fun.
That'd
too.
be cool.
Okay.
He can
All right.
narrate.
But
Well,
yeah,
then
hire
Orson
him up.
Welles
and-
would be like, sorry, dude.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I
But no,
tried
that-
to
that- that
look
is-
smart
that is
there,
a-
and I
that is a
failed
great novel
epically.
if you
I
ever
wish
get
I
a
could
chance
cuss
to read
right now because I just want
1980.
to.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're wearing a Misfit shirt. It's close enough to cuss.
Hey, I go where eagles dare.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks.
So what gave you the? Is it just the love affair you've had with 19? Well, not. Hey, the just that you've been such a fan of 1984.
So, what kind of started it, when I first moved up here and started doing my own music again, I wrote a song that was the love story between the main character and
Right.
Winston and Julia, and it was terrible. It was just a bad song. So whatever. And then I wrote a song.
That's weird because I've never written a bad joke.
You're right. I believe it.
Yeah, me neither.
I know Scotty has.
So I wrote a song called Double Think that ended up being okay, and then reworked Julia and went, okay, well, I'm on to something now. And I originally thought that I would just kind of maybe every couple projects, here's another one, and that would just be one of my things. Hey, every few albums you have another couple 1984 songs. But then I got real into a really, really depressing artist named Radical Face, and his whole thing. I don't know if you remember my tree tattoo from last year. That's influenced by his work, which was telling over 4 albums, telling the story of how one person's decisions affected generations of people. And it was really interesting because instead of relating to the characters, I was really just sitting and listening to a really interesting story. And so I went, what if I did that instead? And then tried to write character stories and that kind of stuff. And then it morphed into a full album, as it were. So it's
Cool.
it was fun because it was a departure from my usual ultra sad and more into ironically sad, if that makes sense. The lyrics are really depressing, but the music can be kind of upbeat. And,
Well, that can be fun.
I threw it a different direction. That sounds like a love song. Well, it's about 2 people who betrayed each other, and then whatever. So
Yeah,
have fun with that.
Betrayal is usually part of a love song.
You're
actually,
right.
or at least the love song is like the prequel.
Right. I just threw it all into one.
Right.
So-
You just cut right to the chase with the whole love song betrayal combo. So yeah,
Made
because
it
that's
easy.
usually that's how it always ends.
No, I've had a couple people say, "Hey, listen, you're not big enough for it to be on your radar. Just put it out. It really won't be a big deal." Most likely, yes, but
What if?
Yeah.
Hey, I drop that one song,
Right.
and make it big. But my big thing is, hopefully, with movies, you need soundtracks.
Yeah, there you go.
And, I don't know that a lot of people have committed that much time to writing 7 songs
About
inspired by the book
1984,
1984. So, my thought is, best case scenario, they say, hey, we like this song, but we want Taylor Swift to do it. And I went, deal, because she'll make a lot more money off of it than I will. Royalties, baby. That's the plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
But man, she'd ruin it.
So she would, but
it fits her personality.
she'll make a right.
It is her
She's
story.
been betrayed a lot.
I'll say it is her
I wrote a song
story.
about it. I want to hear it. Here, go.
Right, exactly. No, the goal is, she records it and then makes all the money, and then someone goes, wait, she didn't write it. This person wrote it, and it's a better version, and then I piggyback off of that.
Right.
And then
Right. I believe we discussed Leonard Cohen
We
last
definitely
time you were here.
discussed Leonard
and
Cohen.
yeah, it'd be like Leonard Cohen. There are a lot of people that redid his songs that got him popular, and then everybody heard Leonard Cohen's version and say, man, those other ones are crap.
Yeah, right. Why would I listen to anything else at this
Exactly,
point?
yeah.
By the way, I've been darker,
You want it darker?
and that is an incredible album.
It is.
Per your
Yes.
recommendation, the wife thinks it's a little too dark for her,
It's very dark.
and I love it.
But that's the thing about that album is this is a guy that, I mean, that album was put out like maybe a month before he
Before it
died.
passed, yeah.
And if you listen to the album, do you ever listen to Leonard Cohen?
Yeah.
Have you listened to
No,
the
I have
album
not.
You Want It Darker, which is his last one? Oh man, it is fantastic.
Kind of like
And-
Johnny Cash's last album when
Yes,
he did all those.
yes.
I mean, it has the
had
same
the
feel.
collaborations
It's
and
really
stuff.
like
Right.
he's who he is now, and there's no trying to prove anything. He's
Right.
he's Leonard Cohen,
Yeah.
and you can hear the confidence in his writing. I think the arrangement's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
It's a great album through and through. I really enjoyed it.
He's got a lot of great albums, and that one just amazed me.
Especially for that late in his career.
Right.
So
Well, let me ask you this. So, you've been talking about a lot of these darker type albums. So, you have a passion for music, right? How do you get into such a depressed type album, right? And that
Sure.
doesn't stick with you.
we had a
It's
pretty
does
similar
sometimes.
conversation, right? I remember we talked about this last time, but as a comedian, you would know that I always say that music for me, very much like comedy for comedians, is a way to deal with things.
Sure, yeah.
And for me, my go-to when people say, why do you write sad songs? Because, I'm married, why don't I write love songs? Or, all these kind. And I said, well, when I'm happy,
I thought the answer to why do you write sad
I'm mad,
songs?
because I'm married.
End of discussion. That was it.
But, honey, if you're listening.
Yep, I said that. He didn't.
But,
honey,
no.
if you're listening.
Honey, thanks for listening.
For being
Got you,
honest,
babe.
right? But no, I always say that it's when you're sad, you want to know that someone else understands, right?
Right.
And so it's all my favorite artists have been on that vein of things because when I feel that way, I don't want to listen to happy songs. I want to know that I'm not alone, that kind of stuff. And very much with comedians, it's like, let's make light of something, usually because they're going through that kind of thing. And they, instead of wallow in the depression, it's like their way of coping. And so for me, it's always been, I can live life a little lighter, as it were, because I can get my thoughts out and then they're there and I don't have to keep dealing with. That's how I process. In fact, I always say the rise of some of this depression and stuff we're seeing, I think it's because we don't process anymore.
Very true.
And I
Very
would
true.
hate to do with that. So it's my way of
and without
processing.
them process, they'll process through other means.
Exactly.
Right,
So they'll
right.
detach.
Right.
Completely.
Or get into any other sort of substance
Yeah,
or anything
absolutely.
else like that.
Yeah.
And that.
So this is your
life's too short.
medicine.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. And
Yeah.
and I'd like to think that the 1984 is kind of a unique thing because it was a passion project of mine. But the other songs I write are more, there's some way you can put yourself in the story and go, okay, I know what that feels like, and I'm glad that I'm not the only one. And maybe that helps me process because growing up, that's what music was for me. I'm just always listening. I don't listen to podcasts or any. I'm just music constantly all the time because it helps me get through some of that. So
That's why I can't usually listen to the radio in a car.
right,
Yes.
Because there's too much
you get into the feel, and then all of a sudden,
talking.
Yeah.
on the radio. Wait a minute. But no, that is. I actually I'm so glad my work truck. I'm on the road a lot, so my work truck actually has a USB port.
Oh.
And I have every.
Yep.
Those are a
song.
lifesaver, right?
Oh man, that's fantastic. As soon as I saw that, I was like, ha ha! And
deal.
yeah, I already had like all my music on MP3s on a flash drive and stuck it in there.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're on there. I was
made the
actually.
cut. I made the
I
cut.
think it was Blue 52 was playing on the way out to Jamestown.
That's
today,
been
so.
it's been really funny that I wrote that just to be like a weird album starter, and that's been more than anything what has resonated with people, which I've really enjoyed. It's been fun because that one's I wrote a song.
Everybody's had that feeling.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and it's very relatable.
So I wrote a song inspired by the Blue 52 whale, which is scientists are tracking. It calls out at 52 hertz. Doesn't mean anything to the non-musos, but it's a frequency other whales can't hear. So it can't communicate anything with other whales.
Aww.
And I went, that's super sad. There's a song there. And so I took that from the human perspective and was basically the song is, hey, I'm calling out and no one's
Nobody's
hearing.
listening. Yeah.
So, and that's what the first album
Wow.
took its song or album title from.
I have goosebumps. Like, I love music. I
I'll
think
have to
music
play
is
that. I'll have to
therapy,
play
and
that
that's
during the break.
awesome.
During the break, yeah.
Which I think you played that live
I
in
did
the
play it
studio
last
when you were
time,
here
yeah.
last time. So.
So, yeah, I got shirts made and the whale and everything. It's been a really interesting. It helps that I really like cello work, and so in the recording there's a lot of beautiful. In fact, like 5 different cello parts, and when I play it live, if I do full band, everyone's like, "Oh, what's that big violin thing?" Well, it's got a name. It's not big violin.
Yeah, the big violin thing.
It's a viola.
That's pronounced voila. Jeez, Scotty.
Just failing. You got a sad
See-
song you can write
see
for
what
me to write? I'm failing at life right now.
Yep, see what happens when I stay in the moment.
Voila.
Man.
Voila. All right, I think we're going
to listen to Rocco DeLuca on the way home.
We're going to go ahead and hit the comedy rundown and play Blue 52.
Sweet.
Just so T-Bone can hear.
Yes.
Yeah. Or and other people.
And other people.
Anybody else
Yeah,
listening.
but T-Bone's
Yeah.
here. So.
T-Bone's here. So, yeah, that's... And we got to keep her happy, or we'll be stuck with Scotty because she'll leave. He won't ever
Oh, Lord.
She won't make it far. She'll be balling out in the parking lot after this story.
I am a crier.
Uh-oh. Should I not play this then?
We'll be good.
All right. Well, here's this week's comedy rundown brought to you by
She
the
said we
legendary...
because all her personalities showed up.
Yeah.
We'll be good. All of us.
Awesome. Well, they'll all enjoy this.
There's only way you can date him.
Here's this week's comedy rundown brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Tuesday, tonight, August 7th, Super Dope Comedy Show Birthday Bash.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Dan. Is at 809 South Smithville Road. That show starts at 8:45, so you'll be able to listen to the rest of this show in your car on the way there. Thursday, August 9th, the Fresh Drunk Stone Tour is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. And an open mic at the Hookah Bazaar also on Thursday night at 958 Patterson Road in Dayton. That show starts at 10 p.m. Sign-ups if you want some stage time are at 9:30. Friday and Saturday, August 10th and 11th, Stuart Huff is going to be at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in the Oregon District. Make sure you get out to see Stuart Huff. He is hilarious.
Very funny.
I've been watching some of his YouTube videos. Guy
Dude is
amazing.
hilarious.
Also Friday and Saturday, Nemmer is at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. And Sunday, August 12th, Wiley's Sunday Comics is back at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street. You can, well, I'm not going to read that part because I'm not in this one. I was in last one, and I read that on there, but I did not change it on my sheet. Yeah, that is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. And don't forget to show some love on Monday nights to shows at Hannah's at 121 North Ludlow Street in Dayton and the open mic at Ollie's at 518 Miamisburg Centerville Road. And without further ado, here's a little bit of Blue 52 from St. Mary, St. Michael. We'll be back here shortly.
Standing in the middle of yet another crowd, I feel my eyes get heavy and all I want is sleep. Looking on a sea of empty faces filled with hopes and fears. The table shifting round louder than I care. Are you there? Can you hear me? Are you there at all? My silent question. No one seems to notice, and I just want to feel the fingerprints of warm hands, knowing that you hear me. You listen to my story and help me carry on. I just want to feel. I just need to know. Are you there? Can you hear me? Are you there at all? Are you there? Can you hear me? Are you there at all?
Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
All right. I'll tell you what to do. Go that way. Really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All right, we're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host for the week, Mr. Scotty Mays.
Yo, what's up?
And the very musically talented Tyler Carson from St. Mary, St. Michael.
Yep.
And T-Bone on backup microphone.
You know, I'm here if you need me.
Absolutely.
She sounds way sexier than Christy Lee does from Bob and Tom. I'm just going to say that.
I got to agree with you on that. Absolutely.
It's just because he knows he's coming home with me tonight.
Well, yeah.
Well, look at her. She'll whip my ass if I don't.
Yeah, there you go with donkey again. All right. Should we...
I don't know. Do we need to regain our composure from listening to that beautiful?
Yeah.
That was
But
beautiful.
I
sad
listened to that on
song?
the way out to Jamestown. And
Wow.
It was, yeah.
You
Dude,
had to
that's
be all in
intense,
your
man.
purpose, listening to that. Did you?
I sing along.
Right in
With
her
the window
porpoise.
down. In my porpoise.
Right in her
Yeah,
porpoise.
yeah. Well.
Oh, well. I have to breathe out my blowhole.
Yeah.
lady.
I
Not in
was
the
waiting.
Not
I
in the
was
studio,
waiting.
Scotty.
Okay.
You're on
Ooh.
Facebook Live.
Yeah. You'd be surprised who my friends are. They're a mess.
That's true. That's true. Someone would be like, hey, Scotty's breathing out his blowhole again.
Not again.
As long as he's Facebook Live it, we're good.
Okay.
Pixar didn't happen, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. If it wasn't on Facebook Live, it didn't happen.
That's right.
That's
Yeah. And if it's not on Twitter, it's fake news.
fake news.
All right, we'll hit some non-fake news. This is all real stuff.
News.
This is real news, real important, real,
Real.
really.
Is it real?
Really. A mountain lion broke into a California wildlife sanctuary and killed 2 peacocks before being confronted.
Oh, no. Come on, man.
Mountain lions are cougars. So a cougar killed 2 peacocks.
Yeah, it
There's,
did.
Yes.
I see that happen in a bar pretty regularly.
Before being confronted on camera by the ranch's owner. The Skydog Sanctuary, located at Skydog Ranch in Malibu, posted a video to Facebook showing owner Claire Staples' encounter with the mountain lion she spotted Thursday morning when she went to feed her animals. The facility is primarily a horse sanctuary, but also houses other animals, including 2 peacocks. Well, it did. That normally inhabit the enclosure that now inhabit a mountain lion. Or a cougar, yeah, where Staples
With a
discovered the
mouthful
cougar
of
with mouthful of
peacocks.
peacocks. Staples in the video, Staples says to the mountain lion, "What are you doing in there? You ate my peacock."
No.
You know why that news story is.
All right. Hey, Lori Graves, did we establish it's called a gaggle, right?
Yes, a gaggle.
A gaggle.
Gaggle.
A gaggle of peacocks.
Oh,
Or a bag. It might have
it's
been
a bag of
peacocks.
A bag
Yeah.
of
it's
peacocks.
a bag.
Yes, it's
The
a bag
mountain
of
lion was
peacocks.
eating a bag
Mauled
of
by,
peacocks.
mauled by a cougar.
Yeah. Well, it was just 2, so it just would have been a sack.
He's like, And you're like, why are you so salty?
Salty peacock.
Man. Whew. Dude, you knew what you were doing when you started.
That's a strong
He's
start.
been
what you were
anxiously
doing.
waiting for that. Like, here it comes.
God bless you, my
forgot
child.
That one was up there to start off with because you weren't even my original guest co-host. That just worked out fabulously.
God works in mysterious ways.
I don't think Ed John would have gotten nearly as
No,
much
he
out
wuld
of
even
that
be here
story.
yet. He'd
Yes.
still be
That's
late.
true. It's true. He's weeks late now because he's not coming at all. Yeah. That happened.
Thanks for that.
Real news.
Well, now that song's stuck in my head.
Which one?
Let me see your peacock.
Oh, that's a song.
Well, that's
I was
colorful.
like, he's right there.
Warner Brother next time.
Yeah. All right. Man, at least let me turn the camera around.
Oh, police in Washington, D.C. say they have seized a 5-foot caiman, an alligator cousin, from a basement on the south side of the district. Police said they were accompanied by personnel from the Humane Rescue Alliance, not the Humane Society, that's their counterpart. The Humane Rescue Alliance. They're actually at war with the
Right.
we're the Alliance. We're here, the Humane Society wasn't doing it good enough, so we're rebelling against. We're the Humane Rescue Alliance. On Wednesday, when they acted on a tip and served a search warrant on the home, investigators found the 5-foot caiman, which police initially mistook for an alligator. Really? Is it going to be that big of a difference?
Oh, it's just a caiman. We're good, fellas.
Oh, well, fine. We won't even cuff him. Anyway, the alligator being kept in a 4-foot tub, a 5-foot alligator in a 4-foot tub, or caiman. Sorry.
Oh, right. This was a pet.
Yes, in the basement of a house. Police also seized several dogs and paraphernalia believed to be related to an illegal dog fighting. If you bring a caiman to a dog fight, that's an illegal dog fight. That's terrible.
It all makes sense now. That's how they were probably getting rid of the, I hate to say it, but like the dogs that lost, the dead dogs, they were feeding it to the caiman.
The caiman.
I really think somebody was dumb enough to think that was just a scaly dog.
Just leaving it in a tub in your basement.
Exactly, yeah. Why? Would you want it upstairs?
No,
I wouldn't let a caiman sleep at the foot of my bed.
I mean,
I don't care how well it did fighting against that dog.
Right.
I would not let it sleep at the foot of my bed.
it would feel all scaly on your feet and everything. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Well, besides,
Like, Dave, is that your feet or is
feet.
that the pet? I'm a little confused right now.
Yep. Well, it has to have been the pet. I don't have any feet left.
Right.
After letting a caiman sleep at the foot of my bed. No offense, Dale. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. A Japanese startup is offering an unusual service for newlyweds. See, we're going with a love story now.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
Here's a song inspiration for you.
Exactly. A Japanese startup is offering an unusual service for newlyweds to celebrate their love, launching wedding plaques into space. Warp Space, a firm founded by faculty members from the University of Sabuku, is offering a service that will print titanium plaques with the names of the newlyweds and load them onto a series of small cubes that each hold a few hundred plaques. That's an awful lot. That's like a small thing. That's, a few hundred plaques. They load them into small cubes that each hold a few hundred plaques. They're going to make a fortune off of stupid people. The cubes will then be released into space by the crew of the International Space Station, and couples will be presented with photos snapped by the astronauts. What proof could they possibly have that those photos are of their plaque that's small enough that several hundred go out on the cube?
They're way out there. That's yours.
Can they aim it to the star that I bought and named? Can it go towards there?
Yeah. I want it to hit this. I want it to land on the acre of moon that I own.
Exactly. Right. If they can get that done, I'm on board. I'd say let's
exactly.
do it.
Yeah, but I'd want to find it. I'd want it to go into orbit and then have them find my little cube and bring it back after being.
In fact, if anything, instead of launching in space, like attach it to the outside of the space station. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just launch it.
Wreck the space station. It would melt.
It would melt. That's funny.
Yeah, that's just
Nothing
one
says
more
love
thing.
like
Yeah.
spending probably several $100s to launch a tiny titanium plaque into space.
Actually, it's brilliant. And here's why. Women will eat this up. And guys, all you need to do is print a certificate that says you did this. Little bit of ink,
Look,
one
honey,
sheet
I
of
did
paper, you're good to go.
I did the
for a
thing.
year.
And then just get a grainy picture of of space.
No.
What do you think?
No. He
Look,
knows
honey, you
me
see
well
that
enough.
spec?
Like, that's
It's hard to
not-
see, but that's the plaque. You just it's in space, so you can't see it very well. But it's
Our
there.
love is now officially out of this world.
Yeah, don't puke on the microphone,
You
Scotty.
see, that's why that's just not who I am. I don't know. I'm not speaking for all females, but yeah, that's not
Okay.
necessary.
Well, yeah, not all, but
You spent how much?
Right?
You could have just taken me out to a steak dinner.
Like, we'll go find some wet cement, and I'll let you just write your name and then
Yes!
Yeah.
That I like.
Yeah, get right down there. Put your face print.
We'll
That's
visit
love.
it back in 5 years, see if it's still there.
Well, the idea is you put your face print in there, and then you have it as like a mold. You can make reproductions.
that'd be
You
creepy.
have the T-bone face print. I don't even know where to go from
I
that.
don't know. I shot my wad on the Peacock story, so I'm still over here trying to recover.
Anyway, a woman got the fright of her life when she woke up to find a 3-foot snake snuggled up snuggled up
There we
next
go.
to her
Now
in
I'm
bed.
recovered.
The royal python, believed to be an escaped pet, had curled up next to her as she slept. After jumping out of bed, she rushed out of her bedroom and closed the door before calling RSPCA for help the next morning. This is in London.
That's another alliance, it sounds like.
Yes, but this one's a British alliance, so it's kind of ineffective. However, by the time the charity animal collection officer Jill Sanders arrived in her flat in Kensington, West London, the snake had slithered away and could not be found. I think she made it up.
Mm-hmm.
She's got
Or she realized she bought that at a store and was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember what that is.
Oh, it was rattling because the end was loose.
Yes.
I don't know where
Yeah.
it ran.
Yeah.
It ran away. I don't know.
Yeah, she found the package later on. Oh, the royal python. Now I
Right.
Oh, that makes
Here's
sense.
the receipt. Now, where did that go? It's going to be a lonely night. Exactly. I apologize. You realize you're on Facebook Live with this, too. That's
Pleasure to be back.
There's no running from it.
I mean, it is flooded with 2 people. So,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Wow. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
we're good. How
That is
many,
amazing.
what's your,
They took it away.
no.
It was depressing too many of the DJs that care about
Right.
those sorts of things. It's like, no,
Nobody likes me.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
whale.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
that's the theme song for WWSU right now. Especially during the summer because there's no one here.
No one.
I'm going to make that my new opener.
Are you there?
Didn't think so, and then I'll just stop. By the end of the World Dog Surfing Championships on Saturday in Pacifica, California, it was no surprise who won the medal, unless you don't follow dog surfing.
I was going to say, I might be pleasantly surprised here in a minute.
Abbey Girl, an Australian Kelpie rescue.
Not Atta Girl, but Abbey Girl.
Right, Abbey Girl. With a real knack for riding a wave. She won the Special Spirit of Surfing Award for her performance and her dedication to the sport. I'm sure the dog is really dedicated.
You put me on the board of the middle of the ocean. I had nowhere to go.
Exactly. I'm going to surf till I hit land. I'm going to try not to get, Oh, but she only won the Abbey Girl only won the 3rd place honors in the medium-sized dogs category. There are more categories than just
one
a
category.
dog on a surfboard. Well, yeah, they're very dedicated to the sport. Owner Michael Yulee got his buddy to the contest even though he had broken his foot. I'm assuming Michael broke his foot. I'm assuming he didn't break the dog's foot, so you're gonna surf.
Right.
I'm assuming that's
He's got to go for the sob story. The dog broke the foot and
he
still surf.
He got the dog to surf by threatening him with a 5-foot caiman.
At least it wasn't a 3-foot snake.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
The royal python. Gidget, a pug who does turns on her board and has 70,000 Instagram fans, grabbed top honors as best little dog surfer. Second place for partnering with Prince Dude Man. And
that's
the
original.
Go Nuts Top Dog Award. That's
The donuts?
Go Nuts.
The Go Nuts.
The Go Nuts.
Babe.
Way to go,
Yep, there
Prince
you
Dude
go.
Man.
Prince Dude Man.
You got the Go Nuts.
Whoa, up there with Gidget.
Gidget.
Yep, Gidget and Prince Dude Man teamed up. I made him do it with my 5-foot caiman.
I like how you just exhale.
You have to every now and then. It's like I have to do another one of these. I don't even want to do the next one because I think we're above that.
Really?
But I'm doing it anyway. As criminal accusations go, this one's pretty crappy. Florida man is accused of
That's Florida.
A Florida man is accused of dumping a bucket containing human feces inside a St. Petersburg.
Hello.
The special district of St. Petersburg. In a 7-Eleven, Damian A. Sims' alleged act of criminal caca happened early Wednesday. He, quote, apparently obtained waste from a portable toilet.
Ew.
Or just anywhere in Florida.
Yeah, just
Any waterway in
anywhere.
Florida smells just the same. The 41-year-old Sims was ID'd by a store manager and recorded on surveillance video, according to the police report. It's possible the alleged bowel movement bucket dump was an act of revenge. Police report notes that Sims was banned from the store in May. It took him that long to gather.
I'll be back for my revenge.
You just wait. It's hit Taco Bell. Yeah, we're above that.
You got to dig deep in them Porta Johns to get a bucket of.
Yes. Yeah, Florida. It's Florida.
T-Bone has a fear of them.
Florida man, like, oh my.
T-Bone's terrified of porta potties.
I don't blame her.
There
there is nothing.
She thinks
nice
there's like
about
some
it.
hidden hand that's going to come up there and grab her and pull her in.
something. It's just gross, period. It smells.
Well, yeah.
It's bad. It's way too open for me. I've seen movies. Not doing it. Not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They're not. I'll hold it till I
Me
get
too.
somewhere a little safer than.
The tree outside
Yeah,
is safer.
Yeah, I'll just go behind the bush.
Yeah. Somebody basically set a plastic box on top of a hole full of crap.
Yeah, right.
And
I'll
said, here you go.
I'll risk being seen. It's fine.
Perfectly sanitary.
We spray it out every couple weeks. You're good.
Yeah, every couple weeks, months, it fills up. We just take a big hose and siphon it. Oh, wow.
Huh.
Moment of silence
For John.
radio listeners everywhere. I'm so sorry.
Weird.
Goats are not often recognized as being the most intrepid of creatures, but these goats are aiming to change the goat game. Not the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Not that goat.
Okay.
these are the goats.
These are the
These
goats.
are the goats of the
Yes.
goats.
On Friday, a neighborhood in the west side of Boise, Idaho, was taken over by about 100 of them, according to KTVB. That is the dumbest
there's
call
too
letters
many,
I've ever
yeah.
heard. According to KTVB reporter Joe Paris. Who are these goats? Where did they come from? What propelled them to go rogue? KTVB, I hate that name, noted that the animals were, quote, snacking on lawn and flower bushes and stripping the leaves from trees, as goats are wont to do. The outlet discovered that the goats appear to belong to the company We Rent Goats, which aptly rents out herds of goats for people to use to clear weeds and help with fire suppression on private land and public property.
Fire suppression? As in, we just eat the
They
stuff.
probably do
that
like
burn?
a fire
Yeah,
line
eat all
kind of
the
deal.
stuff
That's a
can
good.
burn.
Yeah.
That guy knows how to market.
Yeah.
Why should you
Yeah.
buy goats? Well, they'll get
Yeah.
rid of
Yeah.
weeds,
Hey, we rent them.
and they'll
What's the
suppress
name of your-
fires. You might
What's the name of your company? We rent goats.
we rent goats.
Till they get loose.
Till
And
they
then
get-
apparently they take over town in Boise, Idaho because nobody else wanted it.
Yeah.
It's like all the people that were there saw it and were like, here they come. Yeah, we were thinking of moving anyway.
It's fine.
The goats can have it. We're good. We've spent our time in Idaho. We can move on. Yeah. So eventually the whole state of Idaho is just going to be
Please, no,
Goats.
don't take a.
yeah,
dang
yeah.
it. Idaho.
Yeah, don't take Idaho goats.
Don't eat the potatoes.
Idaho's
Ah,
Idaho.
potatoes. Sorry, sorry, a little Irish.
Yeah,
comes
that was
out in
good.
me
That
every
was
time I
good.
hear
Yeah.
potatoes. I do that to my wife all the time. Every time she says she's good, you want me to make you a potato? Ah, potatoes. She says you're stupid. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am. Glad you picked up on that after all these years. Do we want to stop news and
I'd like
see
to
if
hear
we
him
can
sing a damn
see if-
song.
see if we
Okay.
can convince him to sing
Yeah.
a song and save us from my news stories? That would be great.
The first one was the best, man. I never recovered from it.
Well, yeah. Once you have a sack of
Man, it's hard to
recover
recover from that.
Yep. Yep. Well, a cougar and a sack of peacocks. That's all the news story.
You just can't make that up.
Nope, not at all. And you don't want to. But we're going to go ahead and turn it over to when you're ready. When you're ready, I'm not going to rush you. If you got to
gotta
warm
think
up a little
through.
bit.
The song. I did Blue. We just heard Blue 52.
Right,
All of
yeah,
its
yeah.
arranged glory.
Was that what
so-
you were planning to play
No,
again? So you
I
don't
was
want
gonna do. I was gonna pull a couple of the new ones potentially.
Okay.
I got. We've got. Okay. Do you guys want like sarcastic political commentary or another sad story? Sarcastic. all
Okay.
right.
Well, yeah, we can go sarcastic.
So this one's double think. This was as I pay attention. Well, I have to stop paying attention to the news sometimes. It's just not even worth it anymore. But the idea of double think, holding two opposing views at the same time, even though they don't line up, and you do it anyways. So this is double think on the Halfway Out, We Were Dead from the Start album. All right, on my levels, I kind of tried so you could get.
Yeah, I think you're all right
Making
there.
noise, all
yeah.
I don't know what to believe. I'm sure that I can find it somewhere on TV. It doesn't have to go along with anything else when I don't know right or wrong. Even if they're contradicting views, it all makes sense as long as you don't think it through. I don't care what you believe, provided that we don't ever disagree. I try to keep an open mind. Until you argue, then I'll fight it every time. It makes no difference what you might say. I've already closed myself off to any other way. I don't care if my logic's out of sync. It doesn't matter when can double think. Black or white, it's the same to me. Up or down, it's the same to me. I don't care because honestly, either way, it's the same to me.
Hey, nice.
All right.
There it is.
Nice job.
Awesome. That brought the show back to focused. Now
Right,
we're good.
exactly.
Now we're good. No more poop jokes and bad news stories.
Oh,
We don't care either way.
Right, hold on.
No, we won't even. Do you have any shows coming up that you want to go ahead and plug?
I do actually. If you're into the small songwritery, intimate show, those are around the Hamilton area. I'm playing in True West Coffee with a couple other fantastic songwriter friends of mine. I go by the name Night Owl and Jobin. So they will be having a good time with that. That's August 17th, which is actually next Friday. That'll be super fun. And then the only other ones on the plan right now, because I'm really bad about planning out. But as I said, in October, I'll be doing a residency at Urban Artifact. That's more in the city of Cincinnati. But every Wednesday, I will be playing a show, and each show will be different for reasons. And
For reasons, as long as
they'll be different.
always
And
a
there's-
reason. Always a reason.
But if you want to follow along, St. Mary, St. Michael, I'm everywhere on the social medias. And stmarystmike.com. And don't squeeze my head. Sorry, he's squishing my
Scotty,
head.
behave yourself. Don't squish our guests.
Sorry.
But yeah, you can follow me along there. I keep things pretty updated. I play a lot of breweries, so for those that like drinking beer, I like playing where there's beer nearby. I find it, typically I say that if you don't like what I'm doing, drink a couple beers. I start to sound a lot better.
Oh yeah, well, it's just like comedy. I'm a lot funnier. I'm a lot funnier.
Exactly.
when people are drunk.
I know some of those comedy places don't. Some of them require drinks, and so I need to start doing that. Like if
Two drink
Yeah,
minimum.
2 drink minimum.
2 drink minimum to listen to.
To listen to St. Mary, St. Michael.
That's right.
Yeah, the 2 drink minimum of the saints.
Exactly.
That's, yeah.
Amen.
Sounds like I'll be taking my sponsor to his shows. I need some support tonight. Apparently he's very sad. I might get triggered.
Yep, there you go. All right.
That was beautiful, man.
Man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
A pleasure having you again. And I apologize for all of those news stories.
I am not sorry for.
Yeah,
No way,
Scott's
man.
Not, Scott's not sorry because he didn't read all of them out.
I don't
Yeah, I'm
have
the one
I don't
that
have
picks
roadies
these.
and techies that can tune all of my guitars, so I have a lot of dead time on the stage, and so I gotta practice my witty comedy banter. So
Well, there you go. There you go. Do not use these news stories. 'Cause they're terrible.
I don't know, dude. The first one might work. Did you guys hear about the Cougar and Peacocks?
The Peacocks.
Sounds like a really inappropriate Aesop's fable kind of thing.
The Cougar and the Peacock.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Another potential.
I think we found it. I think you found it.
I was going to say, Talk to the Beard was a good name. The Cougar and the Peacocks.
Yep. Beautiful. Well played, sir.
I like
well
it.
played.
Yeah. You're
We got T-Bone's approval.
okay.
T-Bone likes
okay.
it.
Mark it.
T-Bone says, okay, the Cougar and the Peacocks.
That'll be my
Copyright
next
movie
band.
coming soon, right?
Yep.
I go see that.
Cougar and the Peacocks.
Now playing.
First track is "Let Me See Your Foreskin."
Oh, there it is. There it
Wait,
is.
we have to pretend that we have to play through it.
Right,
So yeah,
play through
anyway.
what? Okay.
Well, I don't know. We have to talk through like nothing ever weird happens.
Yeah, the Cougar and the Peacocks. That was like a collaboration with Joe Cocker and.
Well,
let's
they
think,
traveled with Josie and the Pussycats.
Stevie Nicks
Stevie
and
Nicks.
Joe Cocker was the Cougar and the Peacocks.
Yeah.
Back in,
Don't
back
sit
in
here and
the
say you
90s.
wouldn't buy that album right
Oh,
now.
I absolutely would. It's Joe Cocker and Stevie Nicks.
right.
Who's not gonna? Because I love Stevie Nicks' voice and I love Joe Cocker's motions.
Speaking of motions, I just saw Radiohead on stage.
Oh wow!
I've never seen them live, and they were phenomenal. But the thing that stood out the most was Tom York's movements on stage.
Yeah.
He's on something, and
Have
I
you-
want to
have
know.
you
I
ever
want to be a
seen-
part of it.
Have you ever seen Joe Cocker perform live?
I haven't seen Joe Cocker
yes.
perform
man.
live.
Yeah.
It was actually so crazy that it was John Belushi. Well, a year
he
ago I
nailed
shaved
it.
my beard off, and I did a for the what was it, the
Dead
Dead Comics
Comics
tribute
tribute.
show.
Oh, okay.
I actually did a version of John Belushi making fun of Joe Cocker, and I sang A Little Help from My Friends,
Right.
flipping around. I think I still got the scar from falling off the stage while I was doing it, because that
You're
it was
dedicated
one of
to your
those things.
craft.
I was right on the edge, and I thought I could commit to this bit, or I could play it safe, and I just went right off the side of the stage because I had to. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, Google or get on YouTube and check out John Belushi as Joe Cocker.
John Belushi as Joe
There was
Cocker.
actually, back in the 70s when Belushi was on SNL, when it was funny,
Right.
he was actually performing as Joe Cocker on stage when Joe Cocker came up next to him and started singing as well. And the movements were fantastic. All right, we're gonna have to take a break because this thing's telling me I have to.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM with a repeat broadcast on Wednesdays from noon to 2, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email the life1069@gmail.com.
Brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me. I am a brutal presence. I will impose my will.
It's just gross, period. It smells.
Well, yeah.
It's bad.